Students who are physically active get better grades, have better attendance, and have better health. The Centers for Disease Control have shown that the health of students is linked to their academic achievement. The only problem is, only half of all Wisconsin high school students are getting 60 minutes of daily physical activity. Amongst female students, that percentage drops to 45%. This is high school data, but the work to establish healthy activity habits begins long before freshman year. Elementary, middle, and high schools across the Badger State are working with their students to promote active behaviors that will last a lifetime. When students get 60 minutes of daily physical activity, it creates a ripple effect that impacts the entire school. Students in an active school are ready to learn.
So we know that students learn best when they have physical activity, ideally sprinkled throughout their day, that brains are ready to learn with physical activity. We are very intentional about trying to provide opportunities for students to be physically active.
We don't just want it to be FIAD. We encourage teachers to use little mini breaks, even a minute or two, just to get them out of their seats. They're up, they're moving around, they're active. We gave teachers some tools that they can use just in their classrooms. So we are encouraging the math teachers to get their kids active.
Activity levels get them ready for learning. Some of these students will put their activity time in front of their hardest classes so that their brain is as receptive to learning as it can possibly be once they get into the classroom. So really, as an education specialist in activity, I want to get their brains ready to learn the best they can once they get to the classroom.
Research showed the more kids are active, the more their brains are active. The differences will appear on some of their homework and test scores.
If they're able to burn off energy before school or at recess or with brain breaks throughout the course of the day, they are better able to stay focused when they're doing a close reading or where they're engaged in a discussion or some other academic challenge within the classroom.
Active schools have seen reduced behavioral incidents.
We've been keeping behavioral data for our students, and in the year that we've been able to run the program, we've seen a 16% reduction in behavior referral. We've seen students participating more at recess time rather than getting in trouble at recess time or finding other things to do other than being active.
It's been wonderful having the Smart Tracks out in the hallway because then the students are a little more focused on movement versus chatting, say, with their neighbor and disrupting the learning that's going around in the school.
The arguing in the halls, the pushing, who's first, because the hallway is like, this kind of thing is really kind of obsolete now, which I didn't even think that was possible.
Incorporating physical activity can be quick and easy.
Brain breaks are like a 1 to 5 minute break where the kids can get up, stretch their legs, be active.
So we just take a couple minute break and do something quick and then we're ready to go.
The moment to kind of just take a break, get motivated, not feel so nervous and kind of get your energy up so you're not sitting there in your desk like this. You're not sitting there shaking in your desk being like, or get your wiggles and jiggles out. Yes, perfect.
Active schools is best practice.
We did a pretty big book study this year with a lot of our staff members looking at the work of Gorski, reaching and teaching students in poverty. And one thing that he identifies as a best practice for students who live in poverty is to have regular physical activity. And that's something that benefits all learners. And so when we know that that's a best practice for all learners, we want to make sure that we provide opportunities for all students to get active and be physical.
And promoting physical activity is a great way to reach out to the local community.
I feel very fortunate to have the support of the Oregon community from different businesses and organizations has really helped us to be successful in implementing wellness opportunities. Whether it's a fun run or some other activity that we have as annual events, we get a lot of support.
The last 3 years we've been pleasantly surprised that we've had an abundance of people that are willing to maybe come after work. We have a wonderful group of parents that volunteer and help us out, coming and modeling that for their kids.
You don't have to do it alone. You can seek out your community to support you.
When you ask your students, did you get your 60? Make sure they can say yes. Head to the DPI website and learn more about how you can make your school an active school.